Gemini, how you doing? Just a very quick channel message. I've got no idea where this is coming from, but I heard you two-faced bitch. You just went and told her everything I told you, like a half truth. That's a Gemini for you. But like, it's like, well, is it an eye? Is it a fish eye? Something to do with maybe a Pisces? No, I haven't said anything. Something to do with like, listen, you barefaced liar. You just went and told them everything I told you not to say. It's like, I told you that in confidence and you've gone and said something, but I'm hearing half-truths. Like, you only know the half of it. I mean, are you arguing with someone, Gemini? But I'm hearing, you only know the half of it. Oh, you don't even know the half of it. You only know half of this and you only know half of that. And I only own this half and you own that half. Some of you are really arguing with the person that you're trying to divorce, is what I'm hearing. Like, listen, you own that bit and I own this bit. You stay there and I stay here. Look, you have that half and I have this half. And you live in that part and I live in this part. And I don't want to see you and I don't want to see you either. And you don't know the half of it. And you've only heard what they've said. And you've only heard what they've asked. And they've said this and they've said that. And people spreading lies and rumours and arguing and like spreading half-truths and rumours around is what I'm hearing. Wow, there was 111 on the clock. But what on earth is that for? Do you live with this person? Well, did you say that spirit? Do you live with this person? I've got no idea. Or Livy, the name Livy, or L, anything beginning with L, or Elzebub, or a Capricorn, or something. And I'm hearing, listen, you don't even know the half of it. Like, I told you half, and I told you this bit, but then you didn't get this bit from me. You got this bit from somewhere else. And it's like, well, what bit are you seeing now? Are you seeing another bit? Or is this like a piece on the side, and a Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal, and a third-party Pisces high priestess type sort of... Like, well, you only know half of it, or like, you can only have half of the pie. Like, this piece is mine, but that piece is not yours. My birthday's already gone, so I'm not arguing over this cake no more. But like, I'm not arguing over this no more, or arguing over Patron. I don't know, people argue over Patron? Or people arguing, stop arguing on Patreon. But like, I'm not going to be arguing over tears of a clown or tears of a cake. It's like, listen, there might be a cake here, and you have that bit, and I have this bit, but this bit's mine. So... I mean, you got another birthday coming up for a lot of you and you're arguing over birthday party? Because I'm hearing, look, you stay in your quadrant. Is this bubbles of like coronavirus? Of like bubbles or boils? And like, listen, someone else had a boil as well, of some sort of pussy boil or something. Or boil, hopefully it's not a boil in trouble. But like, you have that piece, like, you stay in your quadrant, and you stay in your quadrant as well, and then there's let's quarantine this bit off and that bit. Somebody is quarantining shit again, like, well, we're going to have to clean this and clean everything else, and everything's got to be clean, and you need to quarantine yourself there, and you quarantine here, and someone is like that messed up with all the coronavirus stuff, that they've got it all in their head and they're going into quarantine. They're saying, well, we're already in quarantine. Or Tina, or like quarantine. Like, well, you need to quarantine it then, or you need to guarantee it, or Gary, the name Gary. But like, listen, Gary, you need to shut it up, or like shut. Some of you are dealing with a Taurus, I'm just going to put it that way. It's like Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter, or North Node. Man, I have discovered so many placements with a parent of mine. You know, I'm going to be honest with you, Gemini. You know, I've got Gemini placements as well. But the Gemini that I live with, I've just found out... Well, I never bothered to actually find out and look, to be honest, but I kind of gathered. And I've been saying it in my readings for years. My mother has a rising in Taurus, and I have a rising in Scorpio. And we clash like the Titans. And my mother is a Gemini, right? She's a Gemini sun, and she's a rising North Node Taurus, right? And also, what else was it? Sagittarius moon. And man, Jesus, do we clash like the Titans. And as a masculine number of 8, I think it is. Like, woo, Jesus. But like, yeah, like, well, I told you this in confidence, and I told you that, and you told me this, and... Somebody's spreading some kind of like either disease around, like the coronavirus, or spreading rumours around, or lies around, or Elijah, or lies, or Tyler. I'm hearing Tyler, but like spreading something around, like telling people things or something, or I don't know, some sort of sexual thing. I don't know, but like a or Abby. I'm hearing A or Abby or AA or some kind of they're saying Abigail or Abbott or Abigail, but yeah, there's some sort of like they keep saying like half truths, like you only know the half of it, you don't know the other half, you just know one side, like you're taking their side constantly, always taking their side. Why can't you ever take my side? Why can't you ever listen to what I'm saying? Why do you always choose the other person? Or like someone's jealous or something, and because they've gone off and told somebody something. Or like, I don't know, like I'm going to tell you half of this, but you haven't heard it from me, because there's like this energy, what they're saying, this is my spirit, is saying, look, you've only heard that from me, you haven't heard that from them, you've just heard half of it, you haven't heard the other half, you've just heard this side of it and not that side of it. Like the bread is buttered on both sides or something, bread and butter, like your butter is your butter, buttress, the name buttress, but like butter. What on earth is this for? Or for a Scorpio, something sort of Scorpio. But like, you only know the half truth. Like you've heard it from them, but you haven't heard this part from me. Like, okay, I'm going to tell you something, but I'm going to tell you my side of the story, and then I'm going to tell you their side of the story, but you haven't heard it from me without asking them. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm going to tell you half of it, but I'm not going to tell you the other half of it. But then I'm going to tell you like half. What is this? I mean, are you getting divorced and you're having half each, or you're quarantining yourself away from a person? Like you live in your bit and I live in my bit. Or like a rumour that's being spread around, and it's like, well, I'm going to tell you this bit, but I'm not going to tell you everything because I don't want you to know everything about my life or everything about what goes on. So I'm going to kind of like sugarcoat it with some of the truth, but not all of it. So I'll tell you a little bit. But then you've got like a person that's going to tell people, I'll tell you a little bit of what's gone on, and then, but I'll like add bits on and say that they've done or said this, but the other person that they're telling it to isn't getting it. Like, it's kind of like third-hand information, either a third party or third-hand information, right? And it goes from this person to say this person, like piggy in the middle, right? Like a go-in-between. And I'm going to go between you two and say something here, but I'm going to tell you what this person did, but I'm going to like mould it around to say that, you know, half-truth it a little bit, tell you that bit, but not tell you anything that I did in order to be able to. It's kind of like someone that tells their friends or whatever it is and goes around and tells people and says, yeah, they said and they'd done all of this kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. But this person doesn't tell you the part that they played in it. So whether you've got some sort of rumour or lie or someone that spreads gossip or something like that, and it's like, well, you know this bit, but you don't actually know what they did. Is this like because I'm picking up like a go-between, like a community circle or something, like what I did when I facilitated like group stuff, where you would sit around in a circle and you would all say your piece and you would argue it all out and blah, 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 and then you would have facilitators of key workers, right? So in order to stop that and prevent that, you have like this community group, right? But you have it facilitated by two key workers, right? For people that can be there in order to stop the argument if it gets out of hand. So you've kind of got that kind of thing of like this go-between energy of like, I told you this in confidence, but I'm not going to tell you the role I played. I'm just going to kind of sugarcoat it up and tell you this bit. But then I'm going to skip this person and tell you something, but don't go back and tell them something, blah, blah, blah. Because if you do go and ask them, then they're going to know what this person did or this person said. I mean, is this like some sort of E.T., Elliot, or something like that? But extraterrestrial, or the X, or something. But like, I'm going to go back and tell, what is this? Tell. Show and tell. Something about a Libra energy, right? And I'm going to tell you this in confidence, but I don't want you to go and tell the other person that I've told you. But then I'm going to cover half of that up and really not tell you really what went on, just some of it. But I'm not going to tell you the part that I played in it. So the part that I played is covered up. Then somebody kind of like Chinese whispers. This is Chinese whispers like, okay, well, I've heard that. And they're like, what, really? Did they really? Oh my God, what, really? Did they? And it's like, can I go and ask them? It's like, no, don't go and ask them. Don't go and say something. You're like, well, okay, well, I won't say anything then. And this is another person, like, no, I won't say anything. Right, now I promise I'll keep that secret. Honestly, I will keep that secret. And it's something about a Libra energy or something. And like, okay, I'll keep that secret. I won't say anything. No, I won't. But what is this? If someone's saying, no, I won't say anything, then is this the fact that they're telling somebody else and telling them not to say something? What? I mean, this doesn't have to be complicated within your love life. It can just be something that you don't want people to know. I mean, if you've got something, say, within yourself that you don't want people to know, and someone else has got something that they don't want people to know, if that's remained a secret, that's fine. I just can't tell if there's someone that's saying things behind someone's back of not knowing and knowing but not knowing, and I don't know if that's caused by a person that's kind of like someone that really does tell a hell of a lot of lies. Right, and because they do tell a hell of a lot of lies, they kind of find information out and then they go and spread it. I mean, you can have a hell of a lot of control here. Because, like I said, if you've got a secret between two people, that's between two people that should remain a secret, right? But if one of these people go off and tell, that's what I'm saying. There could have been secrets here, there could have been lies, but there may not have been. There may not have been. What the fuck is it? It's a typical Gemini thing. It's a typical Gemini thing. And it can be narcissism and gaslighting energy, because it can be like, well, Jesus Christ, I can't figure out what the hell if someone has said anything or not. Like, because through narcissism and gaslighting, right, you can be, like I've said, that I've facilitated, well, not facilitated, but I've been in a boozer before, right, where this has happened with somebody. And they have gone around and like, listen, listen. And it's like, yeah, but I'm sure that they've said something though, haven't they? And it's like, no, yeah, but they did say, yeah, but no, but yeah, but no, but yeah, and they did and they didn't. And then it's kind of like this not speaking, but why aren't you speaking? Is that because I've said or done something and I don't know if someone really has caused that or not? And God knows. Like, even I can't figure it out. Even I can't figure it out. Whether someone really is saying things or not saying things, or spreading rumours or lies, or not. I don't know. I have to be honest. I can't figure it out. I don't know if someone has said it, or is it just a feeling. Like, it's just a thought. Like, it's just a thought that someone is. But you don't know. Like, it's probably because people are not speaking. And if you're not speaking, then you haven't found, is it Virgo? Something to do with Virgo, right? And it's like, well, you haven't found out something because I haven't said something, but you don't know if I have or not, because I may not even be telling you the truth or whether I am or not. Oh, fuck me, man. That is so confusing. That is so confusing. Because, like I said, these messages, they might be things that are happening, may not be happening. It may be involving friends, lovers, mothers, situations, brothers, sisters. I can't figure it out. I don't know. But normally, before I do another reading, I go and fill because I've stopped drinking coffee. So I go and get some more water. And during that, it came up with, you two-faced bitch. That's what I heard. You two-faced bitch. So it's a woman then. If you're calling someone a two-faced bitch, then it's a woman. It's a woman that's saying things. Because that's the first thing I heard. I thought, no. And I heard, you two-faced bitch. Why did you go and say that? But then if someone is a two-faced bitch and they have said something, then that means that you found out or do find out that somebody may or may not have said it. So if you do find out that someone said something, then if one of these parties don't contact you to say what has happened, then this remains as a Chinese whisper of possibilities of nothing really happening. Fucking hell. You see, this is why in a facilitation of rehabilitation, right, in a rehabilitation centre, this is what you call selling out, right? And when it gets out of hand, this is when it gets out of hand, when things get out of hand, right? So I'm hearing online because I heard a Leo maybe, or like online, right? So, but when we did those kind of things, that was always to do with around like selling out. Like, I've got something over you and I'm going to tell you because I know you won't tell them, because if you tell them, then I can tell the person that I've got something over you, right? And in a group facility, this causes fucking no end of problems. And trust me, it ends up in relapse. It ends up in God knows what else when you look at a drug rehabilitation centre, right? And trust me, it is dangerous. It is dangerous. And what you get is when a selling out energy starts to happen, we don't have to look at drugs and alcohol and all these kind of things, right? But like, say, okay, I'm going to tell you something, but I know that you won't go and tell this person because I've got something on you. So I'm going to tell you something, but I know you won't go and tell them, because then I can threaten you to say, okay, well, if you go and tell this person, then I'll tell them that what you said about them, right? Like, so if you tell them what you've said about them, if it does get back around to me, I'll just deny it and let you know that what... Do you know what I'm saying? Like, those in close quarters fucking cause no end of problems in life. They really do, right? And it's a bit like... well, it is specifically that. It's where people are involved in other people's lives, where things have gone on, where people's feelings and emotions get hurt. When people's feelings and emotions get hurt, they go off and tell other people. It's kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to go off and tell that bitch, or I'm going to go off and tell that man, or I'm going to go off and tell them because something happened with me and it hurt my heart or break my heart or achy breaky heart or something. And because it did, right, I'm going to go off and I'm going to tell her. And I'm going to go and tell them what you said because you broke my heart. And because you broke my heart, then I'm going to go and tell blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to tell everybody all these kind of things, right? So if you look at that as a dynamic, it's someone that's lost their mind and lost control of the situation because they've lost something. Now, whether this is physically lost a person or lost an argument or lost a fight, and then this person will do anything because they don't like to lose. So you've got conflict here that's arisen. But this is a situation, you see, the way I end up seeing situations in life, and this is God's honest truth, and this is where I can always, when the energy settles down, where I can always see the lesson in the whole thing, because I will always analyse a situation by using Pisces as a situation to look deep into it, right? And after the war, you can normally see the whole situation for what it is, right? Because you kind of calm down, you think, okay, well, that might be a little bit harsh and blah, blah, blah. But what you end up knowing is that everybody acts accordingly to their chart of things that are supposed to happen. Because if you believe in destiny and you believe in fate and you believe in a lot of messages that I tell you out of the middle of nowhere, right, then there's got to be some kind of error of truth to it, right? If a load of predictions of me, knowing the birth of this child that just got born, if you haven't followed the channel, you may not know, but it was born on my birthday on March the 8th. It was a child, it born as a Pisces. I said about something about the boy, and it was a boy, and it was born, and I said it was going to be a water sign, possible Pisces, but maybe not, but it was going to be a water sign. And then it happened to be that when I got back with my ex, but it was at that point on my birthday when I discovered also that the baby had been born, and it was also called Cameron. And and it is, trust me, it is a trine, because Gemini, my girlfriend's got placements of people that they know Gemini in her family are also Gemini, and I've got a Gemini moon, and there's a goddamn Gemini everywhere, and you might as well be goddamn Will Smith with all this shit that goes through my head trying to figure these out, right? So when you look at the whole dynamic of soul groups, right, of people that are all connected, right, when we're all connected and everybody believes that much in all of this shit, you should start to realise that everybody acts accordingly to destiny, right? So they are pulled in a certain way of things that are supposed to happen in order for release, right? In order to learn to let go, right? So you've kind of got this people just basically acting according to their chart. So when you really, really, really take the in-depth look at people, you just soon start to realise, well, really, you're just acting the way you do because that's in your chart, But when it comes to, you know, a lot of other things in life, when you realise that people act accordingly to their chart, when you get family karma and karma itself all together, you get a hell of a lot of struggle, you get arguments and you get fights, because it brings on release, because it's supposed to. Because it's supposed to bring out anger, and it's supposed to bring out Angus, also Angus. Icarus. You're right, Icarus? But like, what do you know? But like, something to do with around, like, it brings out anger, aggression, release, hormones, pheromones, everything else. Everybody knows twin flames, soulmate energies, blah, blah, blah. Everybody starts chucking their hormones everywhere. Everybody starts doing all of that kind of thing. And then, you know, everybody then starts chucking their emotions around and their feelings around and so on and so forth. When you come out of the flavour of it all and you start to realise, you know what, people are really just acting accordingly to what they're supposed to do, because it all ends up just being a lesson, right? It just all ends up being a lesson. So then you act accordingly to another part of your chart, which would be Pisces, Gemini moon. Well, I wasn't even thinking, like, I didn't even know, like, it's like, what? Really? Well, I forgot about all of that, really? I've got no idea. That's me. It goes in one ear, straight out the other, and I'm like, well, I don't know. Did that happen? Did it happen, or did it happen? I don't know. Was I meant to say something, or did I say something wrong? And that makes me then go to my Aquarius third house, where I'll say things because I haven't got any filter. So I'm like, well, I don't have a filter. I sometimes just speak things that are straight on my mind, and I've got no idea. So, you know, you when you look at it, you just act accordingly to what's in your chart. It's plain and simple mathematics. It's just people act the way they do because they're supposed to. Because it's supposed to bring about anger, aggression, like purge of emotion, purge of a feeling, blah, 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 soul groups, family groups, situations of lessons. And before you know where you are, you look at it and think, oh, yeah, I kind of get it now. Do you know what I mean? So all this worry about nothing. But is it? Because it seems to be an underlining issue of possible, like, tit, two-faced energy of like, well, that bitch, blah, 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 and this and that. And, you know, and it may have been caused by one person. But the person, I guarantee you, no one will really be able to figure out who this one person was that started off this chain of events, of arguments. Well, you might be able to say that, where you're like, no, I know exactly who that is, but do you? That's what I'm saying. Do you really? Do you really? Because they're saying that there's something to do with underlining of a Leo. Underlying Leo. Underlying Leo, they're saying. So there's an underlining energy. That's what they're saying. Something about that. Anyway, crack on. This is what I say to people. It doesn't matter what happened or happens. Everything will be sorted out in the end by karma. Right? Everything will happen in the end by karma. You just leave it in the hands of fate. Right? Because eventually, when you soon start to realise, well, you know, if it hurts, I end up gaining more in the end, because I gain more perspective, and when I gain a better perspective, I gain a better perspective of me. And when I know me better than anybody else, I know exactly what I'm like, and I've understood things about my chart that I shouldn't say, should or shouldn't do, and it brings about a boundary, right? So you know, damn, I shouldn't have done that, right? So it leads to an apology, or it leads to self of understanding, well, you know what, I probably shouldn't have done that, or I probably shouldn't have really said that, but never mind, still got to carry on with life, right? So you start to understand, well, never mind, you know, those kind of things. Well, that's me all day long, you know. I am a complete and utter airhead. I really am. I'm a complete and utter airhead. And I get in my head that much sometimes where I'm like, I mean, if you're not a Gemini, you'll have absolutely no idea really about what a Gemini can be like, right? And in my head, I get that confused sometimes with not actually knowing if things are happening or not. And like, I'll start fighting myself, and I'm like, hold on a minute, my intuition is really telling me that something is going on here that, like, it shouldn't be, like, it really shouldn't be going on, or is that really happening, or is it not? Because my intuition is telling me, like, because I have a strong what do you call it, spidey sense, right? And when that starts to really kick in, I start to think, you know what, something's going to get out of hand. And I said this a while back in my readings. Something feels as if it isn't quite right, and it's going to get out of hand, right? And normally when your spidey sense kicks off, if you're blessed with the gift of Gemini, right, if you're blessed with the gift of whatever, not a gift, but if you're blessed with the gift of, say, a Gemini moon, right? You'll be, and I don't mean blessed as in a gift as if it's great. I mean it's more confusing than anything, right? So you'll be like, hold on a minute, let me use my analytical side and actually kind of try and figure this out without really knowing it. Okay, so is my mind running amok with me or not? Did somebody really say something or do something? Or did they really not do something or say something? You know, and trust me, you can fight with yourself. And when a Gemini gets like that, you're like, you know what, I'm going to start using my fucking intuition in a minute, because I've got a feeling that something's going on that it shouldn't be. Right now, is that your intuition that's telling you, yes, that's happening? Or is that your moon sign or anything else of saying, you know what, there's some conflict there and I know it because I've seen it with my own eyes. I've physically seen it with my own eyes, right? If not, then you've got no idea whether this is true or not, right? And this could be between people of the same placements, right? Nobody really knows the truth. It's just kind of like half-truths, maybes, kind of like energies. Well, that's what my spirit's saying. I have a job in order to speak it. If it's there, I say it. Okay. So that's what they're saying is your message. So we're looking at from the 13th, Gemini. Okay. And this is for basically an ongoing weekly message, but the time starts from the 13th. When that runs out, depends on what message it is that you get at the end of it. Okay. So let's see, Gemini. Sun, rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What have they got coming up? So you've got, really, this same card has come out for the last two readings that I've done. Aries and Taurus in the same place. The same place. I think, was it the Pentacles? I'm sure it was. Yeah. Page of Pentacles. Children. A child been born into the family. Probably not telling your grandpa the fact that he's a child. So one of the stepfathers, I'll be honest, one of the fathers of the stepfather probably hasn't been told that their son is just given birth, or you're not speaking to your father or your mother. That's a not speaking energy to a person. It might be because a child has been born and the person doesn't even realise that a child's been born, or they do, but they're trying to reach out to the person but can't get hold of them, right? Can't get grips of it. I can't get hold of them because my son is not speaking to me, right? My son is not speaking to me. How difficult is that when you know loads of those, plus yourself? My son is not speaking to me. Why? Curiosity killed the cat. There's a reason of why, but does a person understand the reason of why? Because if you are definitely mismatched within your star chart, right, within your birth chart and all that sort of stuff, then, well, a lot of us actually do realise why, but a lot of people on the other hand that don't watch, that don't understand all of these kind of things, that don't watch tarot, that don't study astrology and blah blah blah, you'll get a cross-watcher thinking, holy shit, is that me? No, it's generally the people that don't watch it that don't understand, because if you watched it and you understood it, you wouldn't hate it. You would actually think, you know what, that's actually probably a message for me. I need to kind of think about my actions of what it is that I do. Generally, the people that we talk about on these kind of situations here, they shouldn't really involve the people that are in your life, because they more than likely won't be watching these kind of things, right? So they probably don't even know the reason why somebody isn't talking to them. That's what I'm saying. That's why there's this kind of like, well, I don't even know the fact of why you're not talking to me. Why are you not talking to me? I don't understand, right? Is that some sort of paradox? Is that within an Aquarian energy as well? Because they had that. Like a paradox. I don't even understand why you're not talking to me. I don't get it. Why? Is there a lie? Is there a rumour? Do you not like the way that I speak? Do you not like the way that I act? What is it that I've done in order to make you not speak? So if someone really doesn't get it, like they really don't get it, I don't think they ever will. Right? So you've kind of got that here. All that through, yeah, you see, myth. Lead us not into temptation and illusion, right? Let's get the feelings all stirred up again. Let's have a new start. Some of you have just met a brand new person, and well done and congratulations, private flight. I hope it goes well for you. A good old fish on your hands, right? But yeah, you could be dealing with a Scorpio energy here for a lot of you, right? But there's a lot of of popular belief that you might be in a metaphysical time warp of like, man, this is confusing the shit out of me. Like, I feel like I'm having some sort of like, I don't know, like an epiphany of Stephanie, or Piffin, you know there, Pippin? Pippi Longstocking. What? Or P. Butchie, Paula, P. Paul, Pauline, Paula, Putchie, I don't know, anything beginning with P. P. Pee Wee Herman, for God's sake. Yeah, options and choices in life. A new idea, something that brings prosperity to you later on. It's an idea for a lot of you. If you've got anything to do with work and things like that, it's an idea, right? It's an idea, right? But ideas require action, right? So it requires time. If you are a mother, you may be finding it very difficult in order to do the things that you love if all you're concentrated on is being a mother. That's what I'm saying. Some people in life, they find it very difficult within their placements to ever let a child be a child, right? Now, if this child is a young child, then they need your support. If they're an old child, they don't, right? That's why it's Sweet Child of Mine, because it's focused too much upon what a child wants. I'll give you anything that you want. It's a bit like Hansel and Gretel, if you like. Hansel or Hansen, but like Hansel and Gretel. It's kind of like, yes, my dearie, what would you like? Come in, my dear. Come on, come and see what you would like, right? That kind of thing, right? So it's like, well, a lot of like, some of you, it's a new person and you've kind of slipped into the time warp of like this new person, right? If not, it's a new idea and a new thing. If there's an energy here of a new idea that you have, it takes you a hell of a lot of time in order to bring it into fruition because you're also possibly a mother as well, right? So if this is a young child, then tension gets real, right? It gets real because you soon realise, well, I'm a mother. Shit, I have just become a mother, or I have just become a grandfather, and this shit is real. Of course it is, because it's there. It's real because it's a child, right? So for a lot of you, I think somebody in your soul group has given birth to a child here, and it could be any of the parents that's now shit. I'm getting on, right? But like, yeah, I'm definitely hearing that for a lot of you. Because this child's been in the Pisces reading and everything else and so on, and God, so long. If you've followed the channel, you're going to know. If you've just met it, you're going to think I'm crazy. But you'll have to go back and watch them. They're all on the channel. But I think back then it was a lot of the not a tarot card reading stuff, but I've kind of stopped doing those for a while. And I'm just channeling, doing the readings, okay? But yeah, I think that for a lot of you, if it isn't this, it's to do with like children in general. Like, I'm always worried about what my kids are doing. I'm always worried about where they're going. Because if this person's a young child, like someone from China or something, right, as well. But if this is a young child, I keep hearing young, or young, but like young. If this is a young child, then you're kind of like trying to take everything out of their way of temptation. But even if this is an older one, it's kind of like, okay, I need to take everything away from you so you're not tempted, or you are. It's more smoke and mirrors. It's kind of like, well, I don't know whether you're putting things in front of my eyes or not, or like, you know, like I can't figure you out. Like, like it's all smoke and mirrors of like, well, I need to put all of these out of your way so you don't trip up and make a mistake in life, and make sure that I lead your life for you. But if this isn't a young child and this is an old child, an old person, then it's kind of like I need to keep making sure that you don't make a mistake. Well, this person probably doesn't want that, right? So. But for a lot of you, this could just be like a new idea that you've got in your life. But the struggle is real if you know that you're a mother as well as everything else. It takes priority, right? Prioritizing. If you're in a new relationship, it takes priority here. I'm not concentrating on the energy. So let's see. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. That was Virgo by the chance, but I think we said Virgo was here anyway. Okay, let's see. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. It was the Hermit. Okay. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. So the Seven of Wands. The Hermit, don't worry. If the Hermit's supposed to come out, it'll come out. If you're dealing with a Virgo, you're dealing with a Virgo. And you could be dealing with possible depression or a low energy of someone around you that makes you feel low all the time. Or you could just be indicative with a Virgo for a lot of you, right? But coupled up with a 9, if that Virgo's there, because that would be a 9 with a 7 of Cups, there can be a lot of like confusion, like I don't know if you're telling me the truth or not. Like, if you're just trying to lead me down the garden path or something. But here, because it's like a temptation, but like fear energy. Like, I don't know if this person's going to tell me to piss off, or like, I don't know how to approach them because they keep cutting me off in life. You know, they keep telling me no when I keep saying yes. It's like, well, I'll just say yes all the time to everything. Yes. Yeah, go on then, yes. Yes. But then when I approach you, you say no. So it's more like the Beatles. I say hello, you say goodbye, or whatever. You say goodbye, I say hello. So you've got this like, well, I don't know how to approach this person because I don't know what their mood is going to be. Like, I don't know if they're going to like all of a sudden just like flip the script and all of a sudden you're kind of like, Jesus, what's the matter with you? You're like, well, I only just, well, I didn't say anything. Oh, I was going to, but when I did say something, you were that quick to cut me off that I didn't know whether to say anything or not. So when I did say it, why did you do that? Because you're not compatible with the person here. That's why you got the Seven of Wands. Because people cut people out in life to have boundaries for a reason. Even though the card just says Page of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Seven of Wands, it's quite easy just to read that. But when you look at the depth of what goes on in life here, this is what goes on behind closed doors of a child, right? So, or a message that you get where it's kind of like, why the hell did you just ghost me for? Why on earth did you just literally just cut me off out of your life altogether because of what? Because of something I said or because of something that I've done, right? But you're only going to know that by living it, right? You have to live the experience to not make this more of a, yeah, well, that's got to be George and Fred and Zippy and Bungle as well at the same time, right? Because there can be smoke and mirrors here, right? There can be a lot of like half-truths, kind of like, well, I don't know whether you're ever really lying or telling the truth anyway. So, you know, I don't know what to believe. Like, you've made it more difficult for me to actually believe you now. So, you... That's what I'm saying. If somebody has lied that much, you're kind of like, well, you've covered things up quite well. Like, you've covered this up quite well by, like, I'm picking this Seven of Cups of someone that's kind of like moving things around, and you're kind of like, well, you've covered this evidence up quite well, haven't you? You've sort of done all these moves in order to be able to, so I can't figure this out, or so I don't know where it is. Because it feels like that you go and look for things, but they've always been moved. And you're like, hold on a minute, bruv. I swear to God that I was at work or I was at home, and I go into the kitchen and I go to get something, and it's been moved. You've moved it from like one cupboard to the other cupboard, or from one room to the next room. And you go to look for something, you think, well, fuck me. I'm kind of quite used to like putting things where I like to keep them. And you had this before about in the door, out the door, in the door, all that obsessive talking and cleaning, right? So someone goes to get it and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I know where that is. Open the drawer and you're like, fuck, bro, where's my favourite knife gone? Where's my favourite like thing gone? Where's my favourite toy gone? Where's my plaything gone? Oh no, I haven't got anyone to play with now. You took my toys away from me. Right? Now, if this is adults that is doing this, then it's kind of like, oh, well, I haven't got a plaything anymore. I've got no one to play with. Right? So if there's phallic stuff floating around, someone's still got a connection with someone, but they realise that there's no way of getting through to this person of a plaything. Because I'm like, it's like I kind of need to pick myself out a new toy boy or a new toy girl or a new toy to play with, right? So it's like, well, what do I pick now then, right? So it's kind of like, well, I've got something in mind that I want, but what is it that I choose, right? So I don't know if these are people that are floating around. You're like, listen, I'll pick you or you or you or you. I don't know. But Jim will fix it for you. Oh dear, Jim will fix it was a bad character. Oh yes, he was. Oh yes, he was. Jim will fix it. Oh dear, Jim will fix it for you, and you, and you, and ba-ba-ba. In the day, we used to watch Jim will fix it. Jim will fix it ended up getting locked up for a very long time of what he was doing to these poor people here. Oh dear. No, that was bad. We're not going to go into that. I'll probably get flagged. But yeah, y'all look up Jim will fix it. Y'all up from the UK will pretty much know Jim will fix it was, right? Yeah, to be honest, that person run a kids' TV show. But yeah, there's some, or just straight up the name Jim or James, right? Jim or James. But let's see. Ooh. So you've got clients, people, children. See, it's left someone being very curious about what's going on with their kids. Generally, like a mother or a father wants to know so much about what's going on in my child's life. What's going on? Fuck all. It's none of your business. Mind your own business. What's going on in your love life? What's going on with... Oh, yeah, no, it's my kids. They don't talk to me. They don't say anything. It's because they blah, blah, blah. And this child's like, bruv, yo, just... Oh, no. I can see it. I can hear it. The reason why people form boundaries is because of what's happened, right? So this is kind of like a, well, I have no choice but to keep trying for my kids. But again, if these are older children, fucking let them be. Let them be. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Pack it and prick it with B. The name B. B, B, B. Or Abby. Or D. Baby D. Also Baby D. Baby D. But I heard like spies like us, like, I need you to find out what they're doing. I need you to find out what they're saying. Are these clients, you see, this is where after time I find it safer, to be honest, through things sometimes. I don't know, sometimes I get very, very touchy around closing the chat down sometimes, because I've been there, I've done it, I've seen it, it happens, it really does, with people, with clients, with people on the internet. I've had some very strange experiences myself, trust me, I really have. And you know, you'll get people, trust me, you do, that start throwing their hormones around. And you get all of these like people that go from one channel to another channel to another channel to another channel, and they all chat in different boxes saying things about other people. And then when because this seems as if it's here, you get people that go from one channel to another channel and then say, oh God, have you seen so-and-so and so-and-so? Have you heard about what they got going on? And listen, we're all part of the spiritual community. That's our job, in order to tell people what's going on here. And like you got this, 25 years of my life is filled, trying to get up this great big hill of hope for destination. But yeah, a lot of Chinese whispers seem to be floating around of other people's shit, other people's business. And I don't know, sometimes I mean, I don't want to do that, because a lot of the things that I get through, and I so appreciate it, is people that leave super chats. But after time I feel like, you know, does it cause more trouble than anything else, right? But then again, it isn't going to matter with my channel, because everybody else does it and does the same thing. So you can't stop it. It feels like this, you can't stop this from happening regardless of what you do. Like, you can't stop it from happening, right? So it's kind of like the Gemini thing, like, well, I can't stop it from happening. I can't, like, it's out of my control, it's out of my hands. Like, I probably don't like what's going on, but there's nothing that I can really do about it. Like, I can't do anything about it, because it's part and parcel of job, or part and parcel of being a mother, or anything else. So I have no choice but to keep doing it. I just have to keep doing it. I have to keep persevering and breaking through those boundaries of, well, like, kind of like, what's the old saying, like, eventually the tide will turn and the wind will change. Like, kind of, things will sort itself out in the end, right? The old saying, things will sort itself out in the end. Jim Morrison. Okay, my beautiful friend, this is the end, my only friend, the end of our elaborate plans, the end. Right, so anyway, we're going to go on to the other side, Gemini. That is your reading so far. These are constant week readings. It starts from the day that you see it, is the day that I do it, is the day that it should get posted out. I'm hoping to get this one done and posted out tonight. It is the 13th, so if you see the 14th on it, trust me, it was the 13th when I did it. Right, but it goes over to the other side, We do more cards and clarify them to tell you each week what is going to be coming up for your week, right? Exactly what's going on. So I was doing what's coming towards you, but it's the same thing, really. It doesn't change. So it's going to tell me about all these kind of things that are coming up for you guys and the arguments, blah, 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 possible connections, and then I'm going to look into how your partner thinks and feels about you, right? But sometimes that can get difficult, sometimes it's straightforward. But what are they thinking about you and what they feel for you? What are their true feelings, true intentions, and thoughts and feelings for you? That's what I'm going to do, okay? That's what I did on the last one, which was Taurus, but Aries was a different one. But it'll be thoughts and feelings and this reading, and it goes over to the full access bundle over on Patreon, and you can find that in the link provided below, among loads of other readings that is on the full access bundle, so you can find them all below. Okay, all right guys, thanks very much Gemini, and I'll see you soon.